and it was just, that's how far it got on this sheet before they stopped it.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
So I'm going to take it back again. This is the 1921 Coaster Bakery Babe Ruth in an SGC 86. There are only 2 SGC examples of this card, and here is one available tonight. This is from 1921, an important fall classic that year. Featured the perennially October active Giants versus the Yankees in Subway Series there, which many more would come. And it was really a showdown of the Giants were a representation of the dead ball era, and the Yankees were the new, with Babe Ruth, home run hitting, power numbers, and they came to a head in 1921. That's the year this promotion stems from. And of the multitude of souvenirs and collectibles issued for that series, none, or very few, are as rare as the 52 cards issued by Coaster Bakery. This set showcases everyone from players to coaches on both New York teams. And you may notice that picture of Babe Ruth, he's in his Red Sox attire.
Oh,
a famous Red Sox photo of Babe Ruth there. We've sold a couple original copies of that photo.
Yep.
But all the stars appear in this. And but the adolescent feature of Babe Ruth in his Red Sox gear, an incredibly rare card. This is the finest example in an SGC or PSA holder. Both of those services, the top 2 services, have only graded 6 of these cards.
You know, this type of item, and I talk about has a box checked. I mean, first year, early year, finest known, popularity, certified grade. You know, if you were to buy anything in this sale, I would, if you're a first-time buyer, or maybe your budget is...
Thank you for jumping in the platinum auction.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If you're a first-time buyer, and there are, we have people who show up for the first time. I do have 50-year-old people flying for the first time on my flights. I really do.
Wow.
And sometimes even older. But the thing is, there are first-time buyers. There are people who are, especially with COVID, kind of getting their collections and their interests is peaking in different things.
Finding new things to do.
Yeah, finding new things to do, new interests, maybe picking up an old interest, and now it's rejuvenating it. This is the type of thing I would buy because it's a popular figure that everyone knows. It's a first-year item or close to first year. It's in the advent of his playing days. It's a great quality. This has like literally every box checked.
Yes.
So if you are going to buy one item, something like this, it would be this type of item. And plus, you know how much I love Coaster bread.
Right? Who doesn't? I love their delectable desserts.
Absolutely,
as well.
their pastries.
The strudel is fantastic.
Yeah.
Good shout
Come
out.
visit us at Coaster bread. I don't. Are they still in
Speaking of
business?
marketing,
they might still be in business, aren't they?
They owe you $10
Yeah,
a watch.
someone who knows Coaster bread, please comment and get back to us and let me know. I don't know.
So very quickly, while we're talking Babe Ruth, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about a Babe Ruth signed baseball. We sell a lot of these. There's a lot of Ruth ones. There's a few in this auction if you're looking for a Babe Ruth baseball, and everyone is. This is a great example. This one's circa 1928, and the autograph is a PSA 8. So a beautiful, bold signature from the Babe. Stamping on it is Harry Williams, who was president of the Pacific Coast League from 1924 to 1931. Mm-hmm. Ruth and Gehrig passed through California during their historic barnstorming tours of 1927 and 28, likely where this came from, why they would have signed a PCL ball. And you'll notice, Mike, I'm sure you noticed right away, he doesn't have the quotes around Babe on this, which became a staple of his signature. But in 1928, he was going back and forth. That's when the signature transitioned to have the quotes. So likely this is from that 28 barnstorming year. That's how we figured it out. Our research team nailed it. But a marvelous specimen dating to Ruth's, the peak of his powers.
And I love the barnstorming. The stitching is terrific. And I like. Remember what I talked about earlier about the authenticity and the originality of something. This just looks like a great condition, but it looks like an antique baseball, which it is. And it should look like that. And that's that originality, authenticity, high quality. It's all there on so many of these items, and this especially. And there is in all collectibles there are certain things, and we've talked a little bit about rock and roll posters. A Woodstock poster is blue chip. It's money in the bank. A 1909 SVDB penny Everyone wants one. There's always a demand for them. Babe Ruth baseball.
You don't have a signed baseball collection if you don't have Babe Ruth.
Yeah, the
in
demand.
some grade.
The
in
demand
some
for
grade.
Babe Ruth baseballs is not falling off a cliff.
Right.
Everybody, there are fourth graders right now who would love a Babe Ruth baseball.
Yes, it
so
is
so the
gold.
demand is universal. It's widespread. That is a blue chip item. It's a blue chip item.
And this one has that cool story behind it.
It's a good, and yeah, you guys have all the stories, so
Yeah.
it's amazing.
So we're going to go from one legend to another legend. This one I would say is more infamous. This is the very rare 1913 to 15 Fatima Posters Joe Jackson. An incredible item. It was already almost a century before people even knew these existed. So until very recently, no one saw an example of it. We have one right here. It's a large, thin paper poster. Not many survive. Produced by Liggett & Myers Tobacco Company for the Fatima brand of tobacco. And the checklist of subjects will surely grow. We don't know how many they are. We don't know what players were featured in this issue. But this is certainly the most important, Shoeless Joe Jackson. And a very unique portrait of him as well. It's nicely titled Jackson Leads All League Batters, which he did often, one of the greatest hitters in baseball history. This is the first we've ever offered at Heritage, and it's 6 years since we've offered any from this series. Not many are known, but a nice size for a display. You can see it's framed. It's 12.5 by 18 and 13/16.
That's
so
the size of the
very
poster or the
exact
frame.
measuring
Yeah.
here.
Wow, that's quite a ruler you have there in the sports section. You know, the resolution is terrific. You think about the age of that image. It's not a photo; it's a poster. But you can see every blade of grass.
Yes.
So the resolution. That again, you guys have seen images. I'll just I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's the best
please,
image.
that's this opportunity.
That's the best image of Shoeless Joe that I've ever
It's
seen.
very unique. I'd never seen it before these became known. Who knows where they got that photo?
Yeah.
Usually his images are
Well, the cards
side,
are
wearing
kind
a
of
hat.
cartoonish, a little
Right.
bit. That is the best, most realistic image I've ever seen. Now, again, you all might be snickering and saying, "What are you?" But that is the.
I mean, they've been snickering at you the whole time. I'm getting the messages here about it.
Snicker, snicker, snicker. Well, then I'm out of here. No,
Was that a Snickers advertisement you just did there?
Yeah, but it's a great, great image. Great image.
All right, so up next, I remember the day this item came into the office. Really unique. There's a lot of Lou Gehrig items out there. He's one of the most popular players among fans and collectors. This one is one of those special items for Gehrig that puts you right in the moment. And it's a somber moment, but that's an important part of his legacy. This is a 1939 Lou Gehrig signed check. And it is written to the Kyler Hotel in Rochester, Minnesota. Why that's significant is it's right next door to the Mayo Clinic. It's the hotel people would stay at. He was there to find out what was wrong with him, why he was having issues. He had ended his streak of consecutive games only 2 weeks earlier. He took himself out of the lineup for the good of the team. He knew something serious was wrong. He went to the best hospital he could, the Mayo Clinic. He stayed at the Kyler Hotel. The day after he got his diagnosis of ALS, he checked out from the Kyler Hotel. This is the check he wrote when he checked out. And this is what I'm talking about, really putting you in the moment.
Imagine the heartbreak in his heart when he wrote that check.
The maelstrom of emotions swirling through him as he's in the hotel lobby, realizing it's hopeless, essentially hopeless.
Well, we talked.
Some good stuff going on here. The Jordan shoes that Tony talked about in that video got hit right while he was talking about it.
Good.
All right, we're coming back. Hold on.
And we're back. Sorry for the technical errors there. I can only assume you had something to do with that, Mike. You're the new
Mike
addition.
took the Babe Ruth baseball and threw it right at the camera. You know, I told him, no, you don't have that kind of arm, and he doesn't. You know,
Proved you right.
dang,
Wait.
he can't even throw it to the. It's bad aim.
But that's the fun of doing something live like this. Sometimes your bow tie is a little off center. There we go. Sometimes the stream goes down, but we're back. We were talking about the 39 Lou Gehrig signed check. A very poignant piece, and part of his legacy is the tragic end.
Yeah, it is.
And this was
And his graceful
right there.
exit.
Yes.
Extremely graceful exit.
So he wrote this check. The next day, he was in the Bronx informing his teammates of his condition. The day after that, it was announced in the newspapers. And then 2 weeks later, he was telling the fans at Yankee Stadium when he gave his luckiest man speech.
Yeah, on that doubleheader in July. Was it July 4th? I believe. July 4th doubleheader. I can't imagine how crowded that was, getting the word out that that was it for Lou Gehrig. But you think about the heartbreak in his heart, in his hand, writing that check. You know, I can just put him right there at the counter, talking to the attendant. What's the date? You know,
Right.
and the whole thing, just like everyone does when they write a check, whoever writes checks anymore. But it puts you right there, and that's again, this is the beginning of the end of one of the greatest ball players, an American icon, way beyond a Yankee, way beyond a baseball player. So that's an important piece. Important piece. And that's not just another signed check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unique. There's only one of these.
Yeah.
And you have a piece related to that era of Gehrig's life coming up next.
Yes, I do. It's lot 80043. Let me bring it up here. This is the farewell speech. This is a Type 1 original photo, New York Daily News. This is probably one of the most iconic photos ever. And it's not just about the It's not just about Gehrig. It's not about the Yankees, and it's not about baseball. It's about somehow gracefully exiting your livelihood, your passion, and just feeling the empathy, the sympathy. Certainly, some of you have the empathy for a guy like this and the incredible suffering he's going through. So 14 seasons, 6 World Series, 6 All-Stars. This guy was the iron horse in every regard. Way before physical fitness and nutrition and weightlifting, this man was a beast of a man.
Yes,
and,
true.
Obviously we know what he was reduced to, but his heart was left bigger than ever. And Lou Gehrig, what movies were made about him, just a great point. And there is the sadness. You see him with his goodbye mementos sitting there at home plate with all the cameras on him. So what a great photo. It's an antique photo, so it has a
Yes.
few little issues. I think that makes it better.
Right.
I really do. And, some of you collectors are like, aghast. I think something like this just ages it, and it just makes it that much more authentic, and just the feel of it is better. It's a great one. It should go for a lot more money. The current bid is $26,000. Arguably one of the most iconic and memorable and identifiable. I think most people could say that's Lou Gehrig.
Definitely.
Even though it's
It's an iconic image,
Even
certainly.
though it's decades and decades old. Great one. Hope you get it. Good luck.
And someone else who's iconic? Mr. Tony Gehrig.
Yes.
Has he reached that level? Let's check back in with the icon, the iconoclast, Mr. Tony Gehrig.
So we have a couple more unique items here from the Platinum Night auction, which is closing tonight and tomorrow. One of the really cool pieces here, Roberto Clemente. His autograph, it just continues to go up and up in value. Cuts are starting to get to be in the $800 to $1,000 range. This very, very cool picture postcard of Clemente. Most of the time when he signed these, he would personalize it to the person he was signing to. This is one of the few that has just best wishes, Roberto Clemente. It's an earlier look. It's graded mint 9, so this will do $2,000 to $3,000. But again, this is a very good investment piece because Clemente stuff just continues to go up and up. Great item. And yes, a familiar character, Michael Jordan, the 1986-87 Fleer This is actually an SGC Perfect 10 with the gold label. This was at 100,000. I'm sure it'll be even more by the time the auction closes. But you know, these have gone to levels nobody could have thought, and especially with the gold label 10 grade. Who knows what this one will go for? But a 6-figure card, SGC with their beautiful holder, the gold. This one is one of the finest Jordan rookies out there, and they're harder to find in really top grade because of the red borders, which chipped quite easily, and centering has always been an issue on that set. But if you're looking for the best of the best, this is it right here. I will say this is the first time I've ever seen one of these. 1981 McDonald's All-American game. So after the high school season, there would be an exhibition sponsored, of course, by McDonald's that would have the best high school players in the nation play against each other. Well, it just so happens in 1981, a kid from North Carolina, Michael Jordan, was on that team. This really neat lot has Jordan's autograph. Actually, it's got a full name, Michael Jordan signature, set against the photo of him, a young-looking Michael Jordan with a full head of hair, so you know it's early. This lot also includes the ticket stub from the event. You do not see these very often. This is the first one that I've ever seen from the 1981 McDonald's All-American Classic, and to have Jordan's signature. Also, John Wooden's in here. He must have been one of the coaches or one of the dignitaries that was honored. A really cool item from Michael Jordan. And we do get entertainment pieces here and there, and I just love this one. This is from the 1970 Academy Awards, from when John Wayne won an Oscar. Yes, John Wayne won an Oscar, and I did the write-up and I said he must have been in a very celebratory mood, because he did put one of the nicest and boldest signatures I've ever seen from him. A lot of the stuff that people find would be secretarial autographs. This one was signed at the actual event. It does include 2 tickets from the balcony level. But one of the absolute boldest and brightest John Wayne autographs. And he had a very nice signature as well. You know, he put every single letter of his name, but this one is deep and dark and some blue ballpoint, just a great signature from the Duke.
Tony, keeping it calm, keeping it under control. He must have had no Mountain Dew before he shot those videos.
Yeah,
which is a little disappointing, I'll say.
He shot him at 4 in the morning when he gets here.
Right.
So, you know.
He essentially lives here, but not here tonight. But Tony out there somewhere. He'll be back in the future, don't worry.
This is a one-time gig for me, I promise you. So
a one of one, we call it.
one of one. So it's a rare sighting. This is it for me. You won't see me again.
Speaking of one of ones, that's what this item is right here. This is a 1923 Kennesaw Mountain Landis signed letter to Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Uh-oh. Can't be good news.
Yeah, it's not. Few people got good news from Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Yeah.
A noted curmudgeon,
Yes.
I would say.
Not the happiest of fellows.
Right. So for Shoeless Joe, of course, the Black Sox scandal in the 1919 World Series is what defined him. Before that, he was one of the greatest hitters in Major League Baseball history. Now, if you ask someone about him, the first thing they know is the scandal. He was blackballed from baseball, kept out of the Hall of Fame. Surely would be one of the biggest luminaries in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He had the statistics for it. Kept out because of that. Kennesaw Mountain Landis is the one who handed down that decision. So a very interesting letter here that cuts to the very heart of the Black Sox scandal. Shoeless Joe Jackson sent a letter requesting reinstatement to Landis.
Sound familiar?
Right. Shoeless Joe, notably, was illiterate. He hated signing autographs. That's why his autograph is so rare. He would avoid it at any cost. Mm-hmm. Even on government documents, his wife would sign when she had to sign. There are a few samples of his autograph out there, but as every collector knows, incredibly hard to come by a legit example of Shoeless Joe's signature. And Kennesaw Mountain Landis turned authenticator on this letter, as he says, Landis is perfectly heartless in the manner which he delivers this news, explaining that the functionally illiterate outfielder had failed to sign the letter for reinstatement personally. He had had his wife sign it. Landis had no intention of
Questioning his sincerity, basically.
Right. Landis had no intention of ever reinstating him. But here he says, I'm not reinstating you because you didn't sign this letter yourself. Very heartless way to do it, but a very interesting item for collectors that is unique to that scandal, which is an important moment in baseball history and one that collectors love to collect around. Surely his wife signed the letter for him, rendering the content of Jackson's message obsolete to Landis. But a very cool item, very nice autograph from Kennesaw Mountain Landis, an important figure in baseball history as well. And we have got almost 15 minutes till extended bidding begins, and there are two legendary items in this auction we have yet to talk about.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about them right now. Please enjoy.
There are 2 times in my life the hair on my arms has stood up, reported famed Dodgers scout Al Campanis. The first time I saw the Sistine Chapel, and the first time I saw Sandy Koufax throw a fastball. This 1956 Sandy Koufax game-worn jersey is the only known flannel worn by the legendary Southpaw as he delivered that famed fastball in the hallowed grounds of Ebbets Field. Several home white flannels have made their way from the City of Angels to the hobby's auction block, but there is only a single jersey known to have been worn by Sandy Koufax at home in Brooklyn, and this is it. This garment will find its way into one collector's trophy case on August 29th in our Platinum Night auction. 27 up and 27 down. It was the greatest postseason performance in American sports history as the Yankees' Don Larson delivered a perfect game in the 1956 World Series. This is the cap perched upon his head as Larson made history in Game 5, the only perfect game in Fall Classic history. The 2 most famous photographs from that peerless contest reveal one notable difference. As Yogi Berra leaps into Larson's arms in celebration of pitching's greatest achievement on the sport's grandest stage, Larson is wearing his cap. But in the photograph that appeared on the front page of many newspapers the next day, Larson led from the field by a phalanx of fellow pinstripers, uniformed police, and random spectators. Larson is hatless. Now we know why. That item was already in the hands of a Boontown, New Jersey sporting goods store owner and jubilant Yankee fan named Joseph Marcello. The man seen smiling broadly at Larson's left shoulder in the latter image. Marcello rushed the field following the game and grabbed Larson's cap as it fell from his head during the celebration, and it has been in his family's possession ever since. Fall Classic perfection has happened only once, and your opportunity at ownership of this central artifact from that event might well see a similar frequency, as the relic's next home will be determined by a winning bid in our August 29th Platinum Night auction.
It's items like that that make working at Heritage so interesting.
Yeah, those are the office stoppers.
Yes, most definitely. The only known Koufax gamer worn in Ebbets Field, certainly, and
Crazy.
the cap Don Larson wore when he pitched the perfect game in the 1956
Yes.
World Series.
You can disrupt any meeting.
Right.
The most important meeting at Heritage you could disrupt when that item comes in.
And we plan to have things like that come in during meetings.
Exactly.
So, I wish we could talk about the TPS reports, but look what I just got here.
That's exactly it.
So another legendary item you're going to talk about.
You know, when you say legendary, first of all, Mike gave me a list of things to talk about. I mean, we've been bantering back and forth, but thank you so much for giving me this one.
Yes.
Because the Jackie Robinson Hall of Fame induction plaque, when someone is inducted into the Hall of Fame, naturally they put the plaque in the hall, okay, and it's a bronze plaque with your image and what you've done for baseball. They give you one. They give you something to take home to hang in your house, and this is the exact plaque that Jackie Robinson got as his personal memento when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's not a replica. It's not something that they gave to his kid. This is the exact plaque, the exact one that he got
The day he was inducted,
the day
bam,
that he
they
was
put that in
inducted.
his hands.
Yeah. So, and you know, we put in the description, the Heritage description, one of the most significant articles of sports memorabilia Heritage has ever offered. And obviously, Jackie Robinson, an athletic and has attained athletic and cultural immortality. We, especially nowadays, civil rights certainly in the news. Jackie Robinson in the news. I mean,
Yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day in
Yeah.
Major League Baseball.
Yesterday, unfortunately, not as greatly celebrated as we would have liked to have seen, with it, you know, as if we would have been there. But you know, Jackie Robinson's name is still out there, and cultural immortality, absolutely. But this is his personal Hall of Fame plaque. And of course, everything comes with a story. When Jackie Robinson made it into the Hall of Fame, he specifically said, I don't want to be recognized for crossing any racial barriers. I want to make the Hall of Fame based on my athletic talent, which he cleared that bar by a long shot.
Absolutely.
The guy was a ridiculous baseball player, and you can tell this is the plaque. It never mentions crossing the racial barrier, never mentions it. And it didn't mention it in the Hall of Fame. They subsequently changed that despite his wishes.
Right.
And now the plaque has been changed to mention that, and we can debate that, whether that should have happened or not. It's another day, another story. But this one is the exact plaque that was given to Jackie Robinson the day he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And it's, I think it's certainly an important item culturally, baseball-wise. It's a no-brainer. But what can I say about something like this? These are the historical items that just makes working here not just fun, but it just gives you a chance to really think about things. This is what he held in his hand for the photos. It's, what can I say? You guys get stuff like this, and you have a chance to bid on it and own it here at Heritage. I have a strong suspicion the winner of this item, the current bid's $32,000. That's not going to hold up.
Yeah.
You could double that. I mean, I see this as a six-figure item. Not even a question about it. So if you don't have your pencil sharpened now, I would. And you know what? I'm spending a little extra time on this. If you don't have your pencil sharpened now for this, get it sharpened, because.
Wait, what are they going to do with that pencil?
Yeah, I don't know.
This
That's
is
just
you're
a
bidding on
figure
the
of speech.
internet.
Get your mouse
You're
in a
dating
position.
yourself.
Do not skid. You want to have a neoprene surface for your mouth. This is your chance to own a piece of cultural and baseball history. That's it. It's one of the most important items Heritage has offered, perhaps not just in the sports arena, but in any arena. And I liken this to some of the Neil Armstrong things we sold, things that went to the moon in 1969.
It's that significant. I mean,
it's the
Jackie
significance.
Robinson owned it.
Absolutely. This is it. You have a chance to get it. I'm just babbling now. It's a great item. Good luck.
It's a good item to babble over.
Yeah. And then none of that's hyperbole. It is, none of that was overstated. It truly is amazing.
If anything, it was understated.
Oh, okay.
Can you amp it up a little more next time?
Okay. A little more enthusiasm, Mike.
We've got Dean says, good day from Australia, guys.
No, good day.
Yeah, so thank you for watching Down Under. Hope you guys are safe and healthy down there. And I'm going to move right along.
I did the Steve Irwin Foundation charity sale out in L.A.
Oh,
so
nice.
There's my tie to Australia.
Maybe Dean recognizes you from
Maybe,
that. So up next, this is a 1934 Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Jimmy Fox signed Tour of Japan photograph. Of course, huge event, the 1934 Tour of Japan, the most important foreign excursion in the history of our national pastime. And this is a one-of-a-kind snapshot right here. The three greatest sluggers of the pre-war era, Ruth, Gehrig, and Fox, relaxing on the edge of the field with the stadium behind them, jam-packed. Japanese fans coming to see the American legends in person.
What year was this?
1934. Yeah, it was getting close.
Right.
Mo Berg was on the team. A lot of people were like, why was Mo Berg on the team? He's not a luminary. Well, he was spying on the Japanese for the government. That's why he was on the team. Yes.
Everything has a story.
Yeah, everything has a story.
And you get to hear it here at Heritage Auctions.
Mo Berg, one of my favorite characters in American history, in sporting history, and I did this item so I could talk about Mo Berg. But a legendary item here, those 3 sluggers, it's also signed by them. It'd be great if it was just the photo, but it's also signed by them. You've got Ruth and Gehrig with 10 out of 10 signatures.
Gosh, those are
unimprovable.
fantastic. No.
Fox just below at 9 out of 10. And then also signing are the umpire, John Quinn, and the translator, Sodaro Suzuki. And just a beautiful photo, boldly signed. That's an incredible item.
Oh man, is it? It is just fantastic. Isn't that just the typical Babe Ruth pose too?
Yes.
I mean, that is. You don't even have to see his face.
Yeah, and I love Gehrig's pose in it too. He's sitting, he's holding his knees, he's just relaxing.
Yeah.
3 of the greatest players of all time, 3 of the greatest sluggers. I'm about to put on a show for the Japanese fans.
You know, I mean, just you think about a Babe Ruth. What is? I mean, a typical Babe Ruth baseball. Let's say a middle of the road grade. What's that going for?
Middle of the road grade, we're gonna say 5 figures for sure, 20 to 30,000.
20 to 30,000 for a middle of the road Babe Ruth signature. Now let's say we added Lou Gehrig on that ball.
Well, it depends. The single sign is more valuable, especially
Okay.
when it comes to Ruth. Although that tandem is very popular.
That tandem might go against the grain there.
Right. So we probably say right around the same. You add them on there a little bit.
But now
more.
I'm adding. But look at the quality.
Beautiful.
This is the same thing.
I mean, when
This
you're
is
talking about 10 out of 10 signatures from
Yeah.
Ruth and Gehrig,
Yeah.
those bring with it astronomical prices.
Yeah, and then you add Jimmy Fox. I mean, you're adding Hall of Famers, not just in the Hall of Fame. These are Hall of Fame in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And
Tier
you're
one
adding
guys.
the great signatures there, and it's at 92.50. Bid on that.
Yeah, there's room for movement on that one,
Good heavens.
and there's room for movement on this one. One thing that's become very popular in the hobby is original photos, especially original photos used to create iconic cards, and that's what we have here. This is a 1936 Joe Dimaggio original news photograph, and I bet you recognize that image if you're a card collector.
Wow.
It was used for his 1936 Worldwide Gum rookie card. Very rare card, very popular card, and this is the definitive Dimaggio rookie image, and this is the original photo of it. On the back of that card, that Worldwide Gum card, they make his nickname Deadpan Joe, which I don't know if that was ever his actual nickname, but you can see from this image why they would think that. But it has a very important date stamp on the back, which is September 25th, 1936, which is when Dimaggio participates in the Yankees' penultimate home victory, and they would have a final season tally of 102 victories that year and win the World Series. So a very important photo right there, used for a very important card.
Yeah. Yeah, anything with Joe DiMaggio. I mean, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe D. I mean, those are the...
That's the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that is the Mount Rushmore of baseball. So there you have it. There's 2 items right back to back, and or at least described for you in the sale. Let's skip up a few decades. How's that?
Yeah, another
This
Yankee Mount Rushmore guy right here.
A Yankee Mount Rushmore for sure. Mariano Rivera. You talk about nerves of steel.
Yes.
This guy, how many saves? Over 600.
Yeah, I don't have the exact
I mean,
number in front of
we're
me. Someone's
talking about-
screaming at their computer right
This is the
now.
300 save, and you think that he doubled that. You think of Mariano Rivera coming in to save, and I tell you, when the closer came in, when they added the closer in baseball, I was a little like, oh come on. I mean, you talk about how many games are won and lost in those last innings, the last 3 outs. And this guy, again, came in and just totally nailed it every time. This guy could throw strikes, and he could throw borderline strikes in the highest pressure situation. When the fans were screaming, when his teammates were biting their nails. Again, beautiful autograph here. Game used, 300 save back in 2004.
652 careers.
650. So here it is a 300 saves.
Yes.
Celebrating this, not like,
Which
hey
is
mom,
a big number.
Hey
big
mom,
number.
look, 300 save. Can you believe this? And not a lot of people. I think 20, maybe a 2 dozen people have ever had 300 saves.
Right.
So that alone. Then he goes on to double that and add 60 more. I got a feeling he was probably like, yeah, why should I keep this glove? But
I've got
again,
far to go here.
This is the stair-stepping of just greatness. a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? No debate about it. There was no wait list for Rivera. I mean, first ballot, done. He's in, wearing the jacket. So what a great one again. Another Yankee, but transcends Yankee. You don't have to be an East Coast sports guy. You don't have to be a New York baseball guy. This is a great glove, great signature, and a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Jay on Facebook says, Mike looking slick as ever, but which Mike is he talking about?
He's talking about
get clarification, please, clarification. And he says, did Tony get lost somewhere on the way to an empty ballpark? Tony gets lost all the time. If you've ever ridden with Tony when he drives, it is a hair-raising endeavor. I do not recommend it.
I can see that actually.
Yeah,
he's
really also bad with. He's a bad driver and he's bad with directions.
That's a pretty good pretty bad combination. So he not only doesn't know where he's going, but he's not very graceful.
He's not great getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about a game-worn jersey here as extended bidding is about to begin. You've got 2 minutes to get your bids in. This is one you should take a look at. This is a 1980 Mike Schmidt game-worn Philadelphia Phillies jersey. It's a Mears A10, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is the greatest Mike Schmidt game-worn jersey you could buy. Why? It's the only Schmidt jersey from his 1980 season ever to reach auction. That's when he won the only World Series of his career in 1980, and just look at it. That is beautiful 80s fashion right there. Glorious style. So Schmidt, 12 All-Stars, 3 MVPs, 10 Gold Gloves, 6 Silver Sluggers, 8 National League home run crowns, only 1 World Series title, and it was this year, here in 1980.
That guy can swing a bat. I mean, what size bat was? I remember he just carried some big wood.
A war club.
Oh my gosh, that guy, and he's just absolutely chiseled. Mike Schmidt, one intimidating looking guy standing at the plate.
So he wore this beautiful jersey the season. He had 48 home runs, 121 RBIs. He won the MVP. The Phillies won the World Series. It's a powdered blue. It's the zipper front. The zipper still works 40 years later. That zipper is still working. It's a high water mark for Major League Baseball fashion right now, I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, this is what you see in the retro games.
Yes,
in
exactly.
the vintage games.
Yeah, and people love it. And so that's an iconic look for the Phillies from one of their most important seasons. This is the only Schmidt gamer from that season that's ever come to auction, and it's going to be your last opportunity to get it. This is one of those things, it goes into somebody's collection. It's not coming out next year. No. They're going to hold on to it.
And 48 home runs back in 1980, that was
a big number.
Boatload of home runs. I mean, that was some pretty serious swinging of the bat.
Oh, Cassidy from Facebook says, Mike looking very sharp. Once again, we don't know. We're both Mike. Can we get clarification? He's Sadler. I'm Provenzale. That's great difference. Next, somebody's going to say Mike the auctioneer is looking great.
Now what do we do with that? Yeah, can't do anything. They got to go with the guy wearing the tux, I'm guessing.
All right, another great home run hitter playing currently, Mike Trout. This is a 2015 Mike Trout game-used bat used to hit home runs 7 and 8 of that 2015 campaign. Career home runs 105 and 106. Trout, the best player in baseball right now, maybe Tatis Jr., but I think a lot of people are going to say Trout.
Well, Trout year after year.
Yes, consistently 5-tool player. He slugged in the top 4 all 9 seasons in the league, 581 slugging for his career, which is north of names like Musial, Mays, Mantle, so in that upper echelon. And this Old Hickory MT27 model has, quote from John Tobby, the bat expert, outstanding game use. Deep stitch impressions, pronounced ball marks. This bat helped him earn the first of 3 AL slugging titles in 2015. It's got cleat divots, it's got the weighted donut impression, it's got pine tar, it's got the taped handle. You talked about the DNA from Ty Cobb being on his bat. It stopped short of Mike Trout's DNA being on this, but it's got everything else. It is a battered war club used by one of the greatest players in the game, one of the greatest players of all time already. If he stopped today and said, I'm going to become an auctioneer because of what you guys have been talking about. I'm hanging
if he pulled a Barry Sanders type of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He still would be in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
He'd still be one of the greatest.
Doesn't that make sense? Isn't Mike Trout that blue-collar type player that we all just love, just grinding it out every time? Doesn't get a championship, doesn't play for the you know, for the Yankees. I mean,
Yankees.
the guy is just out there grinding it out all the time. And it just makes sense that his bat would look like that.
Yes.
And again, we keep talking about the beginning of the beginning, the earliest signs of when this guy was just coming out of the minors, who spent very little time there. But when he's just starting, 5th home run, 6th home run, whatever it is, that's nothing for this guy. I mean, this guy is going to be in that 600 home run club.
Yes.
And
He's at 300 right now. I think he just hit his 300.
And you think about, is this your chance? Is this, you know, we don't talk about investments here. I mean, we're not in the advisory business. But when you think about, is this the chance to get that item from a guy who's yet to write his story? I mean, the book on Mike Trout's going to be this thick, but right now it's only this thick.
Yes.
So when you think about those pages that are going to unfold in front of you, we don't know what it is, but it's going to be great.
Yes.
And here's one of those bats from that blue-collar grinder. I tell you, I love this. Absolutely love Mike Trout, and he's out there all the time playing. Love him.
I've got some breaking news here, Mike, if you're interested.
Yeah.
So, Last Dance comes out in the spring.
Okay.
The 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan card starts going bananas.
Yeah.
Prices for it. A record was set in April. One sold for $53,000 in April.
That's a
in
lot of money.
PSA 10. We're talking PSA 10s.
Gem.
A month later, we sell one in a PSA 10 for $96,000.
Wow, that's
double,
bigger
almost
money.
doubles the record.
Yep.
In this auction, we have the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie. This one's in an SGC pristine 10, the only Jordan rookie card to get their gold label, the SGC highest of the high, beyond 10. It's
Yep.
pristine 10. It just hit $210,000.
210,000.
That is smashing records right there.
Yeah.
An unbelievable.
Well, you
and
talk-
it's still going.
You know
it's
what?
Taking bids,
Yeah, but-
extended bidding, so it's still going.
But as a guy who's been here at Heritage and has presided over sales of $1 million items, it's pleasing, but it doesn't surprise me.
Sure.
Because people are out there looking for the best of the best, and we talk about this all the time. If a 100-story apartment building gets built tomorrow, you know what apartment sells first and for the most money? The penthouse.
Right.
Everyone wants to live on the 100th floor. So you'd say, well, live on the 99th floor. That's a good floor. It's only one floor down. Sells for a fraction of the price. These are the penthouse items.
And it just took 2 more bids. It's now at $228,000.
Just took 2 more. It's not surprising. These things aren't surprising. I'm not surprised at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We've
I'm
got
pleased, but I'm not
a
surprised.
message from Facebook here. Bob from Facebook. $10,000 not yet, guys. That's the future value. Just a bit too overvalued. I wonder what piece he's talking about. What were we talking about previously?
10,000. Boy, I
This
don't
is
know.
Bob, thank you for
Mike
watching.
Trout
The Mike Trout bat. Okay. Bob from Facebook. Stop selling future hype. That's what we're doing here. Is
Really?
we give you the facts and
Yeah.
bidders decide.
You know, and the thing is, I'm excited about this. I like this stuff. When you say stop selling, we're in the business of selling things and
That's
offering
true.
the great
Love
items.
the feedback.
So,
Love to hear what people think. That's the great thing about the hobby is, you know, sports is about discussions, debates, who's
Yeah.
the best, who's the greatest, and then collecting adds another level on top of that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best item from this guy? Would you rather have a bat from Trout, or would you rather have
Sure.
a bat from Chris Bryant or
Yeah.
Tatis
Hey,
Jr.?
You know, Kyler, our video guy, is sitting right behind the camera. He was in my house today, and I have collectibles from many of our divisions, from dinosaur things, the meteorites. I have poster. I have a couple of movie posters. They were off camera. But I have coins. I have lots of things. I actually had someone call in and complain about one of my auctions. Says, stop trying to get the most money for the item. Really?
That's what we do. That's why.
That's kind of. I hate to say it, but it's kind of what we do. I love these items, and you know, the description's already in the catalog. You can read the description. You know, we're just adding a little bit of enthusiasm because they're really, really cool items. And Mike didn't highlight every item in here. We
Yes.
just picked some of the highlights that
Some of the things that
you
are
know,
cool,
were pretty
that are
cool, had a cool
interesting.
story. Yeah.
And I'll say that Trout bat, it's at $97.50, as you said, but with the juice, it's $11,700.
Yeah,
So over-
11,700.
Yeah,
So
so over 10.
that's what makes a horse race. You
Yes.
know, there's going to be someone who goes, I'm not paying that. Well, that's the essence of an auction. Only
Yeah.
the person willing to pay the most money gets it. So you have to ask yourself tomorrow on Monday morning, are you gonna? And we said this earlier. Do you say, oh boy, or maybe a year from now when it's selling for 20 grand?
Right.
Do you say, gosh, I could have gotten that for 10? Yeah, but you didn't.
And I'd love to hear from Bob. What would you pay 10 grand for? Who's your player? What do
Yeah.
you collect? Are you a card guy or a memorabilia guy? Let's hear it.
Yeah, Mike Trout's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I will guarantee it.
If he
How's
laid
that?
it down today, he'd be in the Hall of
So
Fame.
he's got a
there's no doubt.
game-used bat, Hall of Fame. He's got big numbers. He's going to be in the 600 home run club. I think, barring any kind of injury, yeah, right? That, like I said, the book on him is only this thick. It will be this thick. We don't know the pages and chapters to be unfolded, but I got a feeling it's going to be good news. So you buy
I
a Mike
agree.
Trout bat for 10 grand and you don't think it's worth? Hey, that's what makes a horse race. And you know what? I think it's cool because that keeps the debate ball in the air. I think
like
it's great.
that.
All good.
And another guy that's hot right now, Chris Bryant. And this jersey right here, 2016 Chris Bryant game-worn jersey. A day he went 5 for 5 with 2 home runs. And, of course, 2016, the year the Cubs won the World Series. So a lot going on with this one. Bryant, after the game, said, I quote, "It was a good one. It went by too quick. You have to really enjoy a 5 for 5 day. They don't happen too much." He's really
He's talking
squeezing
about
in
modesty.
sports cliches there
Yeah.
as far as modesty goes. But a huge game, 2 homers, a double, 3 singles, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and a 9-6 victory over the visiting Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry, Tony. Great home white pinstripe Cubs jersey here. Exhibits fine wear from a perfect offensive performance. And it's got the Wrigley Field Cubs Centennial patch on
Yeah.
it. Collectors who collect gamers love those additional patches, things like that make it unique.
And who didn't watch that World Series parade? Everyone
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
watched
fantastic.
that. Cubs win the World Series. What? Huh? Something's going on. What planet did I just move to?
All right, Bob got back to us. He says, best of the best, exactly. He says, Trout, talk Jeter up.
Well, we're about. Hey, what a
All
great
right.
segue! Oh my
Yes.
gosh, here's a Jeter bat right now. We got it right now in lot 80195, the 2009 Derek Jeter game used a World Series bat. I mean, World Series, great. One of the most. He's probably on the All Yankee World Team, history team.
Oh, absolutely.
So here's one of the great Yankees of the Yankees being one of the great teams ever played, and here's a game-used World Series bat, and I don't know what do you have? You want to talk up Jeter? I don't need to. I mean, he's all what do you want me
A
to
lot
say?
has
One of
been
the
said
best
about Jeter,
one of the
but
best hitters, one of the best fielders, one of the
one of the best investments is Jeter stuff. He's one of those guys. He's a Yankee. He's winning. Everybody loves Jeter.
and he seemed like a heck of a good guy.
Yes, so that
know?
makes for solid gold investment.
Yeah.
When you're collecting modern guys that are still alive, you always got to wonder, is there going to be some scandal or something that come
Yeah.
up? When you talk about Mark McGwire, Tiger Woods, these guys had hiccups in their careers and their personal lives, and that hurt their value.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen with Derek Jeter.
No,
It's not going to happen with Babe Ruth. There's no pending scandal for Babe Ruth coming.
No pending
It's
scandal.
over.
You can't have when you're giving to orphanages that much, there's
Right.
really not a lot of scandal.
But
No.
with Jeter, he's free and clear. He's a great guy. He's an all-time winner. Incredible investment.
Yeah.
And something he used in the World Series.
Yeah, World Series games, championship use things. We've had a couple of them, some Jordan shoes, some other items using in the championship. Iconic game used items in iconic games by legendary teams. Again, those are all those boxes that you check. So a lot of these items are selling themselves. We're just adding a little color commentary. I mean, if you look at the description, in the Heritage Catalog. It's not that big, because what else?
It's all been said.
Yeah, I don't know. We're kind of rambling on something that there's not much to talk about. Jeter is fantastic. The game World Series used that. Let's see what happens. What is it at right now?
It is
At $4,200. Buy it right now. Buy it right now. Put another bid in it.
All right, extended bidding is going right now. Here's some updates from the bid board. The 75 Muhammad Ali fight-worn shoes from the Frazier 3 bout just hit 110,000.
Gosh.
Um,
We could talk about that now too.
the
if you-
Ty Cobb, yeah, let's go to that.
Can we go to that? What lot number is that? Do you remember?
It is lot 80112. While we
Eight-
pull that up,
Yeah.
I got a few more highlights here. All right, the T206 sign Ty Cobb
Say
that we
that
talked
10
about
times.
at the Open, 160,000
Sure.
right now. The 62 Jackie Robinson Hall of Fame plaque you just talked about
Yes.
just got hit. It's at 33,000.
Way too cheap. Way too cheap. I love the bidding. Way too cheap right now. It's
Yeah,
not going to
that-
stay there.
That's still going.
Yeah.
The Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shooting shirt we talked about at the top.
Yeah,
It's at
Lou Alcindor,
23,000
from the Bucks.
from the Bucks,
Mm-hmm.
and the 1936 Joe DiMaggio photo we just talked about that was used for his 1936
Unbelievable.
Worldwide Gum.
Yep.
That just got hit. It's at 7,500. And the Ty Cobb bat you talked about at the Open that was
With the tape.
with the tape with the
Tobacco
spit
juice.
on it
Yeah.
that he used to harden the. That just got hit. It's at 170,000.
Yeah, Ty Cobb bat with so much, so many other moving parts to it. It's just a wonderful. Let's take a moment. You want to talk about the? Want to switch to boxing?
Yeah, let's talk about these.
The Ali
very
Frazier
cool items.
thriller in Manila. I mean, this was the third bout for these two champions. These incredible athletes. I boxed in college, and I'm going to tell you something. It is.
Exhausting.
You know, I went to the military scuba course, and that was pretty tiring. Boxing is a tiring sport, and we only went 3 rounds, and we had big 16-ounce gloves. I'm going to tell you, it's absolutely for these guys to go, 14 rounds, just battling each other, and you're getting hit. Each guy is a great defender, but they're also incredible strikers. So they are. You think about the beating that they are taking. And that these shoes, these match shoes, were right there at it. And this is way before pay-per-view.
Right.
I mean, this is when, and these fights happened when I was in elementary, junior high. Everyone talked about these the next day. I mean, we were little kids talking about these. And we would have the boxing matches on the lawn and stuff like that. These guys were our heroes.
I want video of that, please.
These guys were our heroes. These shoes were right there. Ali pulls it off, and both guys were ready to just wrap it up. I mean, literally, Frazier's side did throw in the towel,
Yes.
and Ali's asked to throw in the towel, and his trainer said, "Hold on, I think we should." Who knows what would have
I
happened?
believe Ali said the closest he'd ever felt to death.
Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. And they did it in an awful condition, in an awful arena, no ventilation. These guys were true warrior heroes. And of course, we know what happened and everything. But these shoes, one of the best from, there are some people who are so recognizable worldwide. There are athletes who are so, the Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali he's not just, a baseball. No one across the globe knows who Shoeless Joe Jackson is. I mean, we
Right.
know here in the States, everyone knows who Muhammad Ali is.
Yes, he's a
Everyone.
global icon.
Globally recognized and traveled the world as an emissary for peace. What can you say? A legendary fight and a legendary piece. There's not a lot of equipment in boxing.
Yes.
Not a lot.
And you talked about the DNA on that Ty Cobb bat from the
Oh, well,
tobacco
these- yeah.
spit. And you got that right here. Anybody that collects game-worn, game-used, fight-worn stuff, you love that it was on the athlete, in
Yeah.
their hands. That
Yeah.
puts you in the game. And when you're talking about the boots that Ali was wearing at the hottest fight in history,
Yeah.
that has a lot of DNA associated with it.
Absolutely. No, I get all that. But the absolute importance of this fight when boxing, was really maybe not quite at its peak, probably a little bit past its peak, but
Still at the forefront.
Still absolutely talked about at every water cooler. This was on TV. These fights were carried on television. So I don't know. I love it. These shoes were there. These match shoes were there, and I watched it. And those shoes were the shoes that I watched. They
It
were
took
there.
another bid while you were talking. 115,000 now.
Yeah, and Muhammad Ali again, a recognizable global personality. Yeah.
So Bob's letting us know what he collects. Some good stuff. Bulls team signed ball from the '91 championship. Magic and Bird first championships. He's got a Ted Williams game used bat. Bob, we need to talk later. Send us your contact information if you're interested in selling some of that stuff. Great material.
But you know, Bob's doing it right.
Yes.
He's absolutely doing it right. Very few collectors say, "I wish my stuff was lower quality." No one says that. No one says, "Gosh, I wish I had collected worse stuff."
Right.
They're always saying, "I wish I could upgrade. Wish I could
I had
collect
that
more
Mickey
important
Welch
stuff."
gamer instead of
Yeah.
that Mike Schmidt gamer.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. You've got some great items, and you're right on the right track. No matter what you collect, always, always, always try to buy the best you can afford. Not more than you can afford, just the best you can afford. And
So
it
some
sounds like you're doing it.
Updates from the board here. That 86 Fleer Jordan SGC gold label is now at $250,000.
$250,000.
$250,000 for Michael Jordan right
Wow.
there. That is huge. 1984 Wayne Gretzky Stanley Cup playoffs game used stick just hit 39,000.
You want to talk about that? That was one of my.
Yes, let's talk about that. That is a great item and a huge price for that.
What's the lot number on that,
Lot
Mike?
number is 80110. We'll get the graphics pulled up. You can go ahead and let's talk a little hockey. We hadn't talked hockey yet tonight.
No, I
have
mean,
we?
Wayne Gretzky was recognized as the great one when he was like in 6th grade.
Yeah,
like
7 years old.
Yeah, like he was not. This was not like, hey, he's in juniors, he's 17. In hockey, they have that juniors thing, and it's a little bit different than the minor leagues in baseball. But there are parallels you can draw. This kid was in elementary school. Okay, he was still eating Toasty Oasties at breakfast. His mom was still packing his backpack.
Do you have sponsorship with Toasty Oasties?
No, I don't even know those, but whatever. This guy was great. I think they coined that phrase actually when he was in Pee Wee.
He was in elementary school.
Yeah, Pee Wee hockey, not juniors. Pee Wee hockey, and you think about, here it is again, a great player, legendary player actually, in a championship setting, and this is what he's using. And again,
Cup playoffs right there.
Yeah,
and a Game 7 victory.
Yeah, I mean, and Wayne Gretzky. If I was to ask somebody name 3 hockey players just right now, Wayne Gretzky'd be one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he would be the first guy you would name.
Right.
So. Actually, great stick. I'm actually surprised that stick isn't just a teeny bit more. I'm really comfortable with that stick at like 55, 60 grand. I'm really comfortable there.
Yeah. Let's keep
And,
going.
Yeah. So let's see what's up.
Well, let's switch over to football.
All right.
Now, and we are going to start with one of the more unique game-worn jerseys you'll ever see. We've got a little presentation for it we're going to show you right now.
Let's watch it.
Oh, we surprised Kyler with that. Just
Oh,
jumping around and then...
Kyler's giving us.
Bam.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Bam.
Kill some more time. Well, this is the first. Is this the first football?
First football item
First
we're
football
talking
item.
about.
And we don't look. You football fans, we're not underrepresenting you. These
Yes,
sales tend to be a little
definitely not.
baseball heavy, and this sale is a little Jordan, little bit Jordan stuff. So let's get to some football right now.
William Perry would crest 200 pounds at the age of 11, swelling to the 318-pound figure listed on his rookie card just over a decade later. A massive number that most would agree was still nonetheless an understatement and inspired one of the great nicknames of NFL history, Refrigerator. And this is the most significant jersey that Chicago icon ever wore, a battle-scarred beauty, photo match to multiple years, and the Bears' Super Bowl 20 victory. Remarkably, the jersey saw action over a 4-year period. It would appear that the reason for the jersey's long use and its plentitude of repairs are one and the same. Wilson simply didn't make jerseys this big back then and had to custom build this one for the Fridge's massive frame. This jersey will find a new owner on August 29th in our Platinum Night auction.
Oh, I love that Fridge jersey, worn for multiple years and worn during the Super Bowl 20, the Bears' biggest victory, and just a unique battle-scarred piece from one of the great characters in.
Well, the whole team
football
was full of
history.
characters.
That's
Remember,
true.
didn't they have the
Super
Bears
Bowl
song
Shuffle.
or so? The Super Bowl Shuffle. And
You told me you were going to perform it, so go ahead. Now's a
well,
good time.
you know, this is not the right setting, and I do want to. But remember McMahon with the glasses and the whole
Yes, and
thing?
the-
They were all.
the headband.
Yeah, they were full of characters. Mike Ditka had him on a flight not too long ago. A nice guy. But you talk about Refrigerator Perry carrying that ball in for that touchdown. Maybe not the best coaching move, but still, I didn't bring it up when I saw Coach Ditka on my flight. But anyway, that Bears team was full of personalities and kind of. I don't want to say the first real pop culture advertising promotion, but they were really out there promoting
Yes.
themselves.
Especially McMahon.
Yeah, but the '85 Bears, that was a kind of a cool year in sports. I remember Danny Sullivan won the Indy 500 that year. I just remember him.
Nice
I remember
pull.
what's that?
Nice pull.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just remember '85 being that year, So but the Bears, the World Championship, and still the only one, right? That's it.
Yes.
I mean, how long have they been around? George Hallis and all
Yeah,
that.
I don't think they're inching close to it currently.
Yeah, and I still think of Chicago as a football town.
Sure.
It is, but I don't know what. Hey, Chicago,
They got to
get
find a
moving.
quarterback.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah. But Refrigerator Perry, what a big personality. I remember
Yeah,
that
huge
bruiser
human
carried
being.
that ball in on the 1 yard line. Wow, there he goes.
And on the other side of Super Bowl glory
Ugh.
is what you're going to talk about right here.
Yeah, not all the lots are wrapped around happiness and cheering, right? Let's get to lot. This is cool though, but like everything here, it's got the great story, and the story is what often sells. And this is lot 80073, the Scott Norwood Super Bowl 25 game-worn Buffalo Bills jersey with the player letter. The Buffalo Bills. You got to think about the Buffalo Bills were this close from being talked about like the Bulls and the Patriots. They were this
definitely.
close 4 times. They went right to the brink.
Yeah.
4 times. Now I'm not going to recall what happened in every game, but you think about winning, your conference for 4 straight years. That is unbelievable to get to that level, and yet we kind of dismiss them as those hapless little chaps there in Buffalo.
Those poor guys.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think anybody says chaps, but
Chumps.
at least not.
I don't want to say that.
On this side of the
But they are they are a championship team, a championship caliber. But let's take a look at the Scott Norwood lot 73.
wide right.
Yeah, wide right here. It's one of the I don't think anyone would ever say that in Buffalo even today.
Yes.
No one ever says take a wide right. It's just not going to happen.
those
The letter
toes tight.
letter of authenticity from Norwood, and you get so many letters of authenticity. This
And a
is the
signed
first
photo where he put the inscription wide right.
you talk about like the Bill Buckner things, and
Yes.
these guys eventually, lead productive lives. And
Right.
I mean,
They get over it. They
It's
get
not the end
over
of the world, but you know what it signifies? I think this jersey represents that stick-to-itiveness and that comeback. Yeah, they didn't come back the next 3 years, but they were winning teams.
Yes.
And if you're ever trying to build or show some sort of resilience in whatever it is, I mean, I think this Norwood Super Bowl 25 game-worn jersey is a great choice. It is a great choice.
Because now in the NFL, the whole thing is if you lose the Super Bowl, most teams don't even make the playoffs next year. They just
they
fall
go into a
off.
rebuilding.
They fall
They
off
get
the
rid of
mountain.
salary. They shed everything and they start over.
And they lost the Super Bowl, came back to the Super Bowl,
Yes.
lost, and said, let's do it again.
Let's go again.
We're going to win it this
We're
time.
gonna get it.
Okay, we didn't win it the 3rd time, but this fourth time is
that's
the charm.
and they still didn't do it. But you think about the Buffalo Bills are a championship team, and Norwood's a champion player. It just didn't work out, and this happens to
And
be
that's
that jersey. And that
The most famous kick in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
No question.
Everyone watched
The
it.
only kick I can think that is more famous than that one is Dempsey's record kick.
gosh, with the stumpy foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a legendary moment. Norwood ended up on the wrong side of it. This jersey did not get the champagne shower after
No,
the
it
game.
didn't, as in the description. But it didn't. But there's a lot to be gleaned and a lot to get from owning this. And the world's not full of success and happiness, but
Right.
it's always how you come back.
And it's
this
a very
jersey has that.
unique piece of Super Bowl history.
Oh man,
We've been talking about who is going to buy this, and somebody serious is going to buy it. It's at $40,000 right now.
Yeah.
But, is it a Bills fan? Or is it a Giants fan? Just a football
No,
fan?
I don't think a Giants fan is going to buy this and say, nah. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think, and I really
Well, I
don't.
will say I posted about this, and Jumbo Elliott, who was on that Giants team,
He is saying
did
that.
have that.
and
He said, "Thanks
I-
for missing, Scott. Now my jersey's a championship jersey."
Yeah. Well, I don't think a Giants a fan is going to buy this as some sort of in your face type of
Yeah.
thing. But I think it does demonstrate that in sports there's always a second day.
Yes.
There's always another day to come out.
And how important the story is behind these items.
Yeah.
Of course, it would have been huge. This jersey would be ridiculously valuable if he had made the kick. But the story of it, missing it, everybody in America was watching that kick. I mean, when you think about a Super Bowl coming down to the last seconds, the last kick, everyone in their houses, at their Super Bowl parties, wherever they are, staring, watching that one moment. Back before there was TiVo or whatever, everybody's watching it live. Nobody's like, "Oh, nobody tell me I'm 10 minutes behind."
Get this jersey another day. This
Very
is
true.
the day. So there's that lesson.
Nicely done. Quickly, I'm going to talk about some football cards.
Okay,
Here.
let's do it.
Some legendary quarterbacks that are in the modern game.
Yep.
They're still playing. They're going to be playing this coming season. Very excited for that to start up. And cards are doing very well. That part of the market is super hot. So I'm expecting these to all do very well. Your 1880s figural baseball clock just hit $9,000.
It's still way too cheap. Way too cheap.
So there's
Way
more
too cheap.
room to go on that right here.
Yeah, way too cheap.
But first we've got, this is a 2005 Bowman Chrome Silver Refractor, Aaron Rodgers, BGS Mint 9, Autograph 10. This is one of only 10 that were made, and this is numbered one of those 10.
That were made.
Yes.
Not that were made like in the grade. That were manufactured. Okay.
And that's how the modern side of the hobby is rebounded from the 80s and 90s. What was overproduction is now these limited releases, the refractors, the parallels, the inserts, and that has worked. The market has responded. We are seeing incredible prices for these modern cards. And this is a seldom seen Rodgers rookie right here. First time we've offered this one at Heritage. The parallel rookie of Aaron Rodgers, serial numbered on the reverse. The ultimate 1 out of 10 with the bold blue autograph. And great subgrades on this one too. Centering 9.5, corners 8.5, edges 9, surface 9.5.
What else do you get from watching this show? Rarity, popularity, and condition.
And I'm throwing some stats at you too, right?
Yeah. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer, the beginning of the beginning,
First
excellent
ballot,
condition,
no
super
doubt.
rare, super popular. Every box, check. Get that card.
And we're going to do that again with this next lot, which is the 2018 National Treasures Lamar Jackson. This is the silver holo patch autograph, a PSA 9.
God.
Amazing card. So Lamar started last year, game against the Dolphins. He just tossed 5 touchdown passes in the opener and exploded after that. On his way to win the MVP.
Yep.
Unexpected. But this is a beautiful example of his rookie card here in a PSA 9. And it's a numbered example as well. This is number 6 out of 25.
And you got to think, is Lamar Jackson, how thick is that book? It's only one chapter.
Right.
There's going to be so
long
many
way to
chapters
go.
written in that book, and what's going to unfold, and is this the time to buy? What's the Jordan rookie card again? You don't have to answer. It's at $250,000.
Exactly.
So
these cards I'm talking about right now are in session 2, which
Yeah.
is closing tomorrow. This Lamar Jackson's already at 10,000. It's got almost 24 hours left to bid.
Yeah.
Great investment quality piece.
I mean, I see that card easily pushing the 20K
I think so
don't
too.
you?
The way the market is right now.
I mean, I feel comfortable. I would feel comfortable there.
And we've got some great Mahomes cards in the auction too. And I wanted to talk about this one. This is the 2017 Panini Instant Patrick Mahomes NFL Instant Access autograph with a PSA Gem Mint 10 for the card and a autograph graded a 10 as well from the reigning Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl
10/10.
MVP. 10s and 10s on both sides. You've got a gold rookie autograph here. And this card was signed at the NFL Instant Access event in Kansas City in 2018 for our consigner.
Yeah.
Signed right there. Family got to meet it. Show me the pictures of
Is
his
Patrick
kids.
Mahomes the new marketing
Yes.
poster boy for the?
He does it all on the field. He does it all off.
I mean, that guy has got it going on. Not only just an insane athlete, but just presents like just so well spoken and presents. So he is the new marketing hero for the NFL. I can tell you that right now.
And this is a great investment right here. It closes tomorrow night as well. It's at 2,100. I recommend you guys take a look at that. And now we talked about the beginnings of careers in football. Let's talk about the end of careers.
Okay.
Let's talk about lot number 80077 right now, which is a Barry Sanders helmet.
Oh yeah, Barry Sanders. You think about a guy who walked out of the game. This is let me just get my notes here. Yeah, you're talking about Barry Sanders left the game age 30. Was it the peak of his career? Well, kinda. I mean, it was
on the downslide, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was still running and scoring touchdowns. And here's a guy who, was a Heisman recipient. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame and
greatest collegiate season of
anybody.
ever.
He's in every Hall of Fame that you can possibly be in. The guy is amazing, and he left the game. Not only did he leave the game while he was still playing well, he left the game when NFL records, Mike, were this close.
Yeah, he was on the doorstep.
And he just walked away. And everyone was puzzled, and he just kind of said, yeah, I'm kind of, I've done that. I've climbed that mountain, and now I'm ready to do something else. And it's just...
It was shocking.
It was shocking because everyone loved him, and again, an understated guy who just went out and ran his butt off. Just fantastic. So here's a Barry Sanders helmet, and if this is a final career game worn. So not just a game worn. The final game is what made the news.
Yes.
That's what made the news. This is the helmet that he had on his head when he was thinking to himself, no one knew, he knew. This is what the head that was thinking, this is my last game, that's the helmet that was protecting that decision that we didn't even know about.
So that game was played in December of 1998. He announced his retirement in June of 99. Jeez. So nobody knew at that game. It wasn't
he did.
Derek Jeter situation where he's taken the victory lap of his last season. Everybody knows. And one cool thing about Barry Sanders and this helmet, he would very freely give away his game-worn stuff to equipment members of the Lions, their staff. If somebody asked for a jersey, a helmet, he would give it to them. He knew they were going to sell it, and he encouraged them to. Yeah. He liked that they would get supplemental income from that. Famously, every time he scored a touchdown, he would toss the ball to the referee. And so this was something, like you said, he might have been thinking about retiring, knowing that was his last helmet, but he gave it to a member of the Lions staff who asked for it, knowing he was going to sell for it. Now, we'd estimated it at $20,000. It's at $41,000.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
that doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was a collegiate all-star on every level, best season ever. The guy was gifted in the NFL. He's in the Hall of Fame. And 41,000 doesn't surprise me for something like this. It just doesn't. Actually, I'm more surprised that it's not like that. You're not telling me it's at 62,000. That's more of a surprise. I mean, Barry Sanders, and not only that, it is the final.
So Mike's
game
saying, keep bidding.
Yeah, I keep bidding. I don't even think there's a major decision in that. Well beyond 41. Well beyond 50,000. I don't think it's a big decision.
So on the bid board right now, let's see. Oh, that 1903 Cy Young E107 is at 39,000. We talked about it getting to 40 or 50.
Yeah, I think
it's on
that's
its
pretty
way
easy. Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
The Ty Cobb bat got hit again. It's at 180,000. And let's see.
How much time left on the Ty Cobb bat?
Scott Norwood jersey just got hit again. 42,000 right after
Well,
you
it
talked
should.
about
The
it.
Scott Norwood jersey should, because it shows so much what's great about sport. That's the essence of the Norwood jersey. It's not a championship ring or a 50-point game shoe. It shows the essence of sport, and as Jim McKay said, the agony of defeat. It's a wonderful item, absolutely wonderful.
All right, buy it. Let's see. We got Brian from YouTube says good evening. Good evening, Brian. Glad you're watching. Let's talk about that Patriots ring.
Okay, let's talk about that dish. Diamonds.
Yes, that is something we need to talk about. It's lot 80081. It's up next for you, Kyler. Oh, you already got it, so people can take a look. We needed to scale this image because that one doesn't do it justice up there by itself on the screen.
No, it doesn't. You can't put it in this popcorn container.
Definitely
You
not.
couldn't get it in there. Look, the Patriots fans are rabid fans.
Yes.
I mean, they are rabid, and I think when Tom Brady left to head to Tampa, I think literally tears were in everyone's eyes.
Yes.
I'm not trying to minimize the importance of that. But look, the Patriots fans, another dynasty team, just like the Chicago Bulls, and there's not a lot of teams like that. We can talk about the Lakers of the 70s. We can talk about the Bulls. We can talk about the Patriots, the Yankees in the 1920s. I mean, there's not a
50s,
lot in the
absolutely.
50s. There's not a lot of teams. The Patriots are one of them. And when you think about the championship ring, this ring was made to show off.
Yes.
This was made to go. So what's your problem? It was that. So and it achieved that. This ring you could use in a dark cave to find your way out. It's all it's a lot of glass on this, a lot of diamonds, I love the Patriots and the color there with the enamel. First of all, it's a great jewelry piece. By Super Bowl ring standards, it's a beautiful ring.
Yes.
And it is big
That's
and
visible
impressive.
from space.
It is visible from space. If you're lost on a desert island, they'll find you. Okay, with the ring. So, but this is a dish plate of diamonds. What can I say?
And
It's
it
a dish
was
plate.
awarded to Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Significant player rings, like we talked about, how
Yeah.
valuable they are.
Yep.
And Josh Gordon caught Tom Brady's
500th pass. That's right.
Nice.
And it comes with the it comes with the case. It comes
Awesome
with the
case.
the.
It's got a light. That you open it up, the light shines on the ring.
Yeah, these rings are probably more inclined to be displayed than to be worn.
Right.
And now the fact that there's a shank on there with your finger size, I think is a mere formality.
Yes.
These rings are probably more like trophies or plaques than they are pieces of jewelry. That being said, if you want to wear Josh Gordon's ring, you are free to do so. Not free to do so.
Yeah, what's it at right now?
It's at $115,000, $115,000.
Wow,
But
$115,000.
does that surprise you? Hey, you Patriots fans, not surprising me. Sorry, you're not.
They
I'm
know
not.
it's the last one of the Tom Brady era.
Yeah,
He's
this is
moved
it.
on. This is the last ring.
And like I talk about, like as a Buffalo player buying the Norwood jersey, no. Is a Patriots fan buying this?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
I know you're out there on the East Coast buying this and fighting for it. Good luck. The last person standing gets it. So I hope you're that person.
And I love the inscription they put on the inside. Patriots, still here.
Still here.
Just like, we're still winning Super
We're all
Bowls.
Patriots,
no problem.
right?
All
Good luck
right,
on
so
that one.
we are going to get back to Tony real quick and
All right, let's do
see
that.
what he's up to. Then we'll come back, have a few more updates for you.
The first we have here is a 1985 game-used, photo-matched Super Bowl 20 Steve Mcmichael jersey, one of the anchors on the line. He was part of probably the greatest defense of all time, and we have two of the only known photo-match jerseys from that team. We have the William Perry and Steve Mongo McMichael. This was used, of course, for more than one game. Photo match to the Super Bowl, photo match to a few games. Just an absolute battle-scarred jersey is what we like to say in the industry. Numerous repairs, especially one on top of the 7 here. And this is a very large size, not the kind you could buy in stores. And these things, when they made them, they wore them. They usually wore them even for multiple seasons. So, it's of course, there's a lot of bear collectors out there given their place in the history of the game, but the 1985 Bears team they were ranked number 1 among football teams in one of the polls that I read. But to have not one but 2 photo match gamers from that Super Bowl where they beat the Patriots, just amazing. And this one goes really well with the William Perry jersey, and both will get a new home. When this one came in, I had to look twice, When you think of Jerry Rice, you think of number 80, of course, with the 49ers and then also with the Raiders, among other teams. This was worn in the 1990 Pro Bowl. The 1989 season was Steve Largent's last year, and Jerry Rice, being the nice guy that he was, gave up his number 80, so Steve Largent could wear number 80 in the Pro Bowl. That's why this is number 81. It actually shows decent wear for a game, for a jersey that would have been used in one game. This is the highly sheened micro mesh material that was used in the late 80s, early 90s. It's got the nice Pro Bowl patch on the shoulder, and Rice to an elongated nameplate on the back. The numbers are screened on, and there is a period Wilson tag in the tail. A very nice Rice game-worn jersey. And if you look on the back, there is a hit scrape on the back. So they did play in the Pro Bowl at this time period, not like today where it's more of a touch flag football game. And this jersey just screams Raiders. Very unique style, of course, very collectible style. A lot of interest in this jersey. This came from the Jimmy the Greek Schneider collection. Art shell 1970 Raiders game-worn jersey. As we all know, the Raiders are the renegade team, and people collect their stuff. There's a ton of collectors who are looking for high-end Raiders. Look no further than this one. If this looks a little off, there's a reason. In 1970, the Raiders had silver on black numbers, and they didn't really show up too well on the TV screen. So this lasted only one season before Pete Rozelle basically made them change and have the black to have black as the primary color on the numbers, because if you do look at this, it's white. The silver really fades into the number. So this was changed after only one season, but the AFL, known for their uniqueness, and had the names on the backs of their jerseys before the NFL did. The NFL, when the two leagues merged, the NFL did put names on the back. This has got the real short shell on the back to a very large nameplate. And if we look at the front here, great wear, great lineman wear on this. We have the crotch piece is fully intact, as we say, size 52. Just an absolute stunner. You put this on a mannequin and your collection is complete. Art shell game used jersey, again with the unique number style that was only used for that one season. Hall of Famer, he's a pioneer in the NFL though. He was the first African-American head coach. And if you're talking Raiders gamers, this is one of the absolute finest, and just a beautiful, beautiful shirt.
Tony, we miss you. Wherever you are out there, we know you're having fun. He's the happiest, most rambunctious, most energetic, most enthusiastic man in the hobby. There's no doubt.
I actually asked Mike on the break while the videos were playing. I said, "Is Tony the happiest guy you've ever met?" He just, without yes,
Yeah,
he is.
there's no question. Anybody that's met him has gotten a bear hug from him. We're ready for this pandemic to end to get bear hugs back
He's
from
great.
Tony.
What a great, yeah.
So I want to thank everybody who has watched. We really appreciate that. It's a great opportunity for us to interact with you, talk about what's interesting about this sale, what's interesting in the hobby, and we will be back in not too long to do this for our next upcoming sale, which is a Michael Jordan and Basketball Icons sale, which with that 1986 Fleer at $270,000 right now
Yeah.
for the Jordan in an SGC gold label. That sale's looking promising.
And what a great lead-in to that sale this is. So many wonderful items I've enjoyed. Thanks for asking me to come. And
Much appreciated,
I
Mike.
enjoy-
I really appreciate you coming and doing this
Thanks.
on short notice. He was just wandering around.
I was the only
halls, and
guy
I was like,
available.
you want to talk sports? Come in here.
Well,
Good, you've got a blazer on.
Well, you know, the thing is, talk a little bit about sports, but just the great quality of collectibles, and what you're buying is great stuff. And that's the key thing. Rarity, popularity, condition, those combinations make for great items. And they make for generally good appreciation generally. So
Definitely.
good luck the rest of the sale. You got a lot to look forward to over the next, hour or so?
Yes. So extended bidding is still going, and we'll have session 2 tomorrow night. We won't be doing a show unless you want to. You want to come back here?
I'll
and
be
do
out
this
of
seminar?
town.
Okay. There will be no show tomorrow night, but I'll be talking to you guys on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, if you guys want to interact there. More incredible material and extended bidding for that will be just like tonight at 10 o'clock Central Time, 10 p.m. Central Time. So get your bids in for session 2 stuff. You can bid on that all night. I hope you guys are taking a look at the amazing results that are coming in so far. And of course, if you have material you want to sell and you want it presented the way only Heritage can present it, if you've looked at our Platinum catalog, please, we do free appraisals. Contact us. We'll tell you what your items are worth. And if you want to sell them for the highest price possible, of course, we will help you with that as well. I need to thank all of the staff that helps make this possible, that are behind the camera. There's only a single person behind the camera right now, but also Emily and Marina, who are keeping up with the online part of it and staying up late on Saturday. We really
Very
appreciate it. Thank you, Melina. And to our operations staff, who never gets a shout out, this is the opportunity. They are the best in the business, and they handle all this material, make sure it is safe and secure from the moment it enters our doors until it ships out to you when you win it. Nobody does it better. That's how we are so confident that all your material, these priceless, one-of-a-kind items, are taken care of. So thank you to our operations team. And thank you, Mike,
Oh, my
for
pleasure.
joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Always
and good
love
luck.
hanging out with you, and this is and thank you for bringing the popcorn. That was a big save. And thank you to all of our bidders and all our consigners. Of course, we can't do it without you. And thank you to everyone who joined us. Everyone, have a very great Saturday night, and we leave you with a little more Tony Giese, who always has to get the last word. Good night.
Good night.
All right, so we've got some of the best Boston Bruin game-worn jerseys I have ever seen, probably some of the finest in the industry. These were consigned by a family member of a man who worked at the Boston Garden, and he was the guy who switched from the ice to the parquet floor and was with the team for decades. And one of the things that he got from the team were game-worn jerseys. And these are some of the finest Boston Bruins in the hobby. Up first, the man, the myth, the legend known as Bobby Orr. This is from 1970-71 with a ton of repairs on this thing. And if you look, this has been photo matched as well. Resolution photo matching has photo matched it. This will definitely hit 6 figures. Outstanding wear, and the team was known for these really small, they call it bullet-like repairs, and this indeed has the repairs that the seamstress was known for. Great wear, no restoration of any kind, just a classic Doreen look to this. The numbers just stand out beautifully. Great use. Photo matched by Resolution and Spivak and Trout. One of the absolute best Bobby Orrs. Right now it's $67,500. This is definitely going to hit 6 figures. And there's great provenance behind this as well. So if you want the finest Bobby Orr, here it is. And not to be outdone, we have a great Phil Esposito game used jersey. This one is a little later, from 73 to 74. But again, just like the Bobby Orr, great wear throughout. Stick marks on the bottom half of the jersey, and just absolutely beautiful, stunning Boston Bruins 50 years patch. You know, it's not like today where the patches really jump out. It's a little smaller patch, but a very rare patch indeed, which helps us date this. And both shoulders have the patch. And you've got a period Wilson with the 56 written on the inside. It does, I believe it says 74. So another just a stellar game-used jersey. And if you look on the inside, this looks a little different as well. We have what we call the fight strap. And you know, this fully intact. Just a great classic look here. Boston Bruins, Phil Esposito. one of the absolute finest game-worn jerseys of Espo. All right, call it entertainment, call it sport, call it whatever you want. But when you talk unique items in the Platinum Night sale, this definitely will take top honors. 1990s Macho Man Randy Savage, and I didn't say Macho Man Randy Savage, ring-worn, sequin-filled robe. These were incredibly expensive to make. They used them for quite a while, usually months on end. Yeah, he did change from time to time, but this one is quote-unquote style matched to the heyday of the Macho Man in the early 90s. Just an absolute stunning piece. It's at $14,000 right now. These have really gone up in value because of their uniqueness, because if you're having a dinner party, what better way to impress your friends than with the Macho Man Randy Savage robe. This is when he was champion, right, like I said, right when wrestling was probably at its absolute peak with him and Hulk Hogan. Friends than enemies. This is definitely one of one, and one of the most gorgeous robes we've ever had.